Yo, once again, it's Backstage Past the podcast. I'm Realest Low. We got a hip hop legend in the building tonight. Yeah, no doubt.
Appreciate it.
Dude has been in this game for a minute, for a very long time, actually. Approximately.
Well, if you go back, I would say probably over 40 years.
Over 40 years, yeah. So he definitely represents the culture. He's a rapper, a producer, an actor, an entrepreneur, a reality TV star.
Wow.
And I have a funny feeling that he really enjoys beefing with some of you all's favorite rapper. Yo, let's give it up for Benzino.
Man, that was a big intro. I appreciate it, man.
What's up, man?
I had to sit back and think like, wow, I did all those things, man. All these things. I appreciate it.
Well, shoot, man. Welcome to the show, man.
Man, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
Sitting here, I'm looking at all the legends on the wall. So I'm like, wow, I appreciate it.
Yep. Hey, like I said, I'm glad you finally made it.
Yes.
Hey, I offered you a drink. You
Nah.
You rather smoke?
Yeah. I went outside, blow a little something, man. And, I don't, to be honest, I never even coming up, I think I drunk for peer pressure when I was, coming up. Because I never liked to taste the alcohol.
Okay.
So I think when, I probably just did it to get drunk, to be with the guys. And even as I gotten older, I'll do it. But it's just something about and that's any alcohol. Like some people be like, well, I like brown, I like white. I don't like none of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would do it just to get a little tipsy.
Right.
And then if I get too drunk, I get too emotional. So I just...
You said, All right. So, like I mentioned, you've been in the game for a minute.
Yeah.
And you were first in a group called the Almighty RSO.
That was my first rap group, yeah.
First rap group.
Sure was.
And that was with the members of...
at the time it was DJ Def Jeff, Orange Man, who's locked up now, free Orange Man. The Master Kevski, rest in peace. Kev's not here with us. Actually MC Knox. I mean, it was, the RSO transitioned until we kind of got it to one solid group, but it was guys around the way that were kind of in and out. But man, I mean, that was like the early 80s.
Early 80s.
When, I think hip hop and, started coming to Boston around the late 70s, early 80s.
Okay, yeah. Because that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, how was the group formed exactly? I know you just now said it was multiple members.
I was a DJ. I started DJing. My name was Rock, Shock, and Ray Dog.
Okay.
Yeah. It was Benzino came way later. I was Ray Dog. And I remember, my father's side of the family is from New York. So my grandfather stayed in South Bronx. My grandmother stayed in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Right? So my grandmother stayed in Coney Island Projects. My grandfather stayed right up the street from Fordham Road. And my grandfather had a house with like a garage, and he used to make the, what we call turntables, the needles that would go on the actual record.
Right.
He would have all the equipment in his garage, man. And he had a son that was maybe 2 years older than me. You know what I'm saying, Eddie. And I was 11 years old. I really won't forget this. I was 11 years old. I see it vividly, and I was downstairs in the basement. And you know how it's not like a finished basement.
Right.
Charlotte, you finished basements, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But this was like the rocks, like the mountains was coming out of the
wall.
Wow. One of those basements. Back in the days, that's how basements were.
Right.
It was like actual mountain rocks. It wasn't nothing finished about it.
Yeah.
So Eddie's whole thing was downstairs, his room, and he hooked it up. There was like Bruce Lee posters everywhere. He had a CB radio. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is how far this goes back.
Yeah.
This was like 1976.
Wow, okay.
And I think I was 11 years old, right? And he had two turntables. And I don't know if you remember the song or the artist Cheryl Lynn, To Be Real.
Yep.
To Be Real.
Yeah.
Dun, dun. So there was a part on To Be Real that would go dun 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 dun. So he would show me how to keep bringing that back.
Kept bringing it back.
So man, I would go down there and I would practice. And it would get to the point because sometimes I'd have to go stay with my grandmother. I'd be like, Dad, can I stay with Grandpa? Because So my uncle got me into hip hop, and then I remember the movie Wild Style, Beach Street, all the movies, and then these guys came to Fresh Fest and just
blew it up.
It just So I said, man, I want to be a part of that, and I got involved early in Boston. Formed a group called the Almighty RSO, Rock Shit On.
Oh, that's what I was about to ask you.
Rock Shit On.
Rock Shit On. That's what the RSO
we had to kind of adjust it a couple of times when we got our first deal. We had to change it to like Real Solid Organization or something just for the label.
Okay.
We couldn't call it Rock Shit On, but it was Rock Shit On.
So you guys and Gangstar, y'all were like pioneers in the Boston's rap scene.
Well, Guru, Keith Elam, rest in peace. Keith's whole family's from the Boston area.
Right.
His father was a judge.
Okay.
In Boston, a Superior Court judge. Mother was a lawyer. He came from a real, very, very intelligent man.
Yeah, you could tell the way he rapped.
But Boston's a hard place to make it out of to this day, for anything that has to do with black culture. Yeah. Anything.
Why do you think that is, though?
Well, I mean, Boston's a racist city. It's just we cut through the chase, you know what I'm saying? Boston has been a racist city since the inception, Yeah. Boston was one of the first incorporated towns in America. So you got to realize this is where, it all first happened. Yeah. And, we wasn't around for all that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we wasn't in the equation for
I got
Boston.
You. Yeah. I get that. But sticking with the hip hop though, I'm just trying to get a feel of. I know you said you got that feel of hip hop from visiting your peoples in New York.
Yeah, man.
But
Mecca.
Exactly right. But at that same time, back in Boston, what was the vibe like at that time though?
Well, Black Boston's about like a 20-mile radius. Okay. Like South End, Roxbury, Mission, Dorchester, Jamaica Plain, Mattapan, when you put it all together, that's the hood. Yeah. And so every kind of hood started, having their DJs and MCs and stuff. I started out, the thing was, I was from an area called Four Corners, and I remember, I started doing block parties early. Like I bought this big Sherwin Vega speaker. Now mind you, this is the 80s. Yeah. And I used to go out to the parks when the Jamaicans we used to bring out back in the day. Again, I'm showing my age, but back in the day, they used to have dresses like this big, like where you pull the drawers out for your clothes, right? The tall ones, right? And they were wooden. And the Jamaicans would take the back of it and put the subwoofers in the back of those. Wow, yeah. And bring them out to the park and just go crazy. Right. So I remember I bought a Sherwin Vega speaker. The turntables that I first started on were belt-driven Geminis. When the SP1200s were the Newmark 1200, well, I guess it was Newmark. The 12s came out, and that's when everybody started just going crazy with the DJing. So I bought equipment. I bought a Honda generator because we used to plug up things in the lights in the street. But I went and got me a generator.
So you didn't have to worry about that.
None of that. And we used to just get block parties, and man, that's where it just was like, it just started, man, and it just never stopped. Yeah. Like I was a street guy. My father was in the streets, so all I did was sell drugs and then and do hip hop. Formed the RSO because guys, I had the equipment, I had the money, because my dad was plugged in with a lot of people, and I was young. And I was getting money at an early age, so I'd buy all the equipment. And I'd have everything, and I was actually in a couple of record pools where they'd be sending me all kind of records and stuff. So man, it was pretty dope, man. I made a little name for myself, and then formed the group RSO, and it just clicked because everybody at that time was forming groups. Yeah, and we would battle. We would go against each other, and we'd have like about 15 guys with us, on stage and shit, like the beatbox, 3 dances, 3 DJs. I mean, but that's when it was fun, man. Right. Hip hop, it just was, nobody was thinking about making money. I know I wasn't. I was spending money. Yeah, I mean, I'm hustling money, the block parties, I'm selling little manila envelopes, nickel bags and shit. So I'm spending all my money on equipment and hip hop, and because I loved it. It was,
Right.
it was just, you know what I mean? It was like, it was something new, it was fresh, especially coming from Boston, where at least back then in the 70s and 80s, black culture wasn't so suppressed. We still, when hip hop came, we still managed, because they didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Boston wasn't allowing like Run DMC to come perform, so we'd have to go see them in Providence, Rhode Island.
Word?
Yeah. There's, as big as Boston of a media market was, they wasn't allowed to have rap shows.
So they wasn't even doing like the Fresh Fest.
Fresh Fest, we had to go. Let me tell you a story about the Fresh Fest when they first came. That's why, these are my heroes. So I was like, damn, we didn't have no whips. My man Jerry Short, I went with Eric and Terrell. God rest Eric and Terrell, but Jerry Short still living. And he stole a Datsun B210, a little small car, a little Datsun.
Yeah.
Remember the Datsun?
Little hatchback or something.
Little hatchback, and we jumped in that mall. And man, we made it. And we got to see Run DMC, Beastie Boys, Houdini, Rick James.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I even think Fresh Prince. I mean, it was the greatest shit ever. And we ended up coming back home and got pulled over. State troopers beat us up, cooked my tooth out. I mean, it was crazy, man. Like, but we got to see Run DMC, but it was like we wasn't allowed to get the big rap shows, so everything was done in the hood.
Right.
And they couldn't stop that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So how did the almighty RSO get put on though?
So yeah, I met Dave, and Dave formed the magazine from his dorm and at Harvard.
So he was going to Harvard at the time.
He was going to Harvard.
And you just met him like out at like.
Well, he actually came and interviewed us. I had the RSO. We was at a college radio station because we never even had a rap. We never even had a black radio station at all. We had an AM station that we would have to listen to black music, right? And it would go off when the sun went down. It was called WILD.
See, that's how it was. See, I'm originally from West Virginia.
Okay.
And back in the day, that's how it was. We didn't have a black radio station, but there was one DJ there that he would, some kind of way, he finessed the white radio station to get put on a Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And he would do a show on Sundays.
Yeah, and that's what you had.
And that's all we had. That's how we learned about all the artists back then.
Well, we had to do it through college radio.
Okay.
And, this one college station, actually where Wendy Williams had graduated from, because Wendy's from that area. You know what I'm saying? So, it was like, I think they was given a charity event where groups from Boston, rock groups, rap groups, jazz groups come up there, because since they play our music, they was playing our music, we come up there and do a live. It was a telethon.
Yeah.
All right. So we went up there. Dave came up there, and that's where he interviewed us. That's the first time I met him. I think it was 1987.
Okay.
And we just kept the friendship. Harvard's in Cambridge, so it's quiet, away from the hood. Where I'm from, guns, gangs, drugs, killings. I would go see Dave just to get away.
Yeah.
Because I never knew anybody really that lived in Cambridge. We would go out there sometimes if there was parties, ended up getting in trouble or something. We kind of didn't go around there because it's like more white. You know what I'm saying? But me and Dave forged a good friendship, man. I would go up there and I would just chill, and we started chilling more. Then he would do a show on Sundays, a rap show on Saturdays called Street Beat. And my DJ, 2 times, Jeff, would go up there and be his DJ. Okay. And they formed The Source in February of 1988 on a 1-page newsletter.
And that was in Boston.
With KRS-One on it. Yeah. And, brought Dave to the hood. Because, back then, white people necessarily couldn't come to the hood. We couldn't go to their shit. Right. We talking still in the 80s.
Yeah,
it was like
I get it.
People don't understand. A lot of times, people think, like, when you see civil rights stuff, you always see it in black and white. If you could look in the 70s where they was doing forced busing for kids, because we've been segregated forever up there, and you could see riots in color, not in black and white. Right. People don't realize how racist and problematic Boston is when it comes to, color. Gotcha. So and the stuff that we have to deal with because they hide it on purpose. So, Dave, cool dude. We ended up linking up, and he moved the Source offices early to New York. So at that point, it made it book for him. He had his college guys working. I necessarily wasn't. We were still friends. Like I wasn't involved with the magazine. You know what I'm saying? In the first 5 years. But the whole time, me and Dave are like best
y'all
friends.
Were still tight, right?
I mean, because he's from DC. Dave's Jewish from DC.
Okay.
And man, we just got close. And then 94, I ended up being a partner, a 50-50 partner with him. And, I didn't know about magazines. I was still in the streets, selling drugs, going through crazy shit. At this point, we was going, members of our group were getting killed. And, because, Boston was like probably one of the first East Coast cities to really adopt the gang culture.
Yeah.
Like colors and in different blocks.
Before New York really did it.
Gang banging. I think the influence, of course, came from LA. Because I remember when Colors came out, the movie Colors came out. After that, Boston just went crazy.
Just went crazy after that.
Yeah, and to this day, you know what I'm saying? And Boston is made up of projects and blocks. So if you got beef with somebody, you're going to see them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like, Cali, shit is spread out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, niggas is dying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
right out the door.
In that little area, we was averaging like 120 murders a year. Just like in 20 miles.
That's crazy.
Like, no exaggeration, it was nuts. And everybody knows everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's,
that was around the time, in the 80s is when New Edition came out too, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. Bobby, yeah.
You remember them?
Okay. We remember. Those is my guys.
Like from Boston.
Like from OP, yeah. Okay. Like when we first came up, when RSO first came up and I was DJing, they'd be down Dudley, because they from the heart of Roxbury, right down at Orchard Park Projects, right by Dudley Station. That's the heart. You feel me? I was on the borderline of Dorchester and Roxbury up in Four Corners. We had a crazy block too, but where they was from, OP at that point, as far as the project was Bricks Projects, right? They would be doing shows at the Highland Tap, a little small ass little lounge.
Yeah.
Doing talent shows and shit. Like, we watched them, man. Like, the guy who's responsible for them, really, Maurice Starr. He's from South, but he moved to Boston, him and his brothers, and they did a lot up there.
Okay.
Michael Johnson. But yeah, man, I watched Bob's whole. Then me and Bob, me and pretty much the rest of the guys are cool, because we see each other from Boston. Me, Mike, Ronnie. Yeah. But me and Bob are tight.
Y'all real tight.
Okay. Yeah.
So you were talking about like Run DMC, and I know you went to see, like you said, you went to Providence. Y'all had to go to Providence, Rhode Island. You said just to see Run DMC.
Yeah, Boston. They wasn't letting no rap shows come.
Gotcha. But you were in the group yourself. So how was it when you were able to first get on stage and perform? What was that?
That's all we wanted to do. That was it. Everything else, shit. That's how we, all the chicks, like all the girls, like, you kidding me? and then because you battling down. So now we got, there's gangs, and so now we battling dudes, and it's like it's more at stake now because there's blocks involved. You know what I'm saying? And man, we probably won every battle we did, and then we was a wild bunch of guys too. Though we was very much actively gang banging and selling drugs. And I don't, it's not like I like to get on the internet and talk about that part of my life, only because like there's so much of that going on.
Right.
And I feel like, when it comes to that, I've done so much in the streets and been through so much, and it was so long ago that it doesn't even really seem like, it just seems like a whole different life.
Yeah.
So like, I think the culture, the culture doesn't need to keep hearing about those stories.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong, I survived that. You know what I'm saying? And that means a lot to me because a lot of my guys did.
Right.
And I've came very close a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? So I know hip hop has a lot to do with me being alive.
Yeah.
Because all I ever did was street shit, drugs, guns, courtrooms. It's the same thing. And you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to seem like I'm glorifying me being this type of guy, but that's what I was. So it's like, you know, with all the stories that everybody's saying these days, it's almost like, damn, you don't even want to tell yours because it doesn't, it's like, you know, so, but that's all I did. And, you know, I thank God that I survived that part of life, because it was hard growing up in Boston.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking about it, without being hypocritical, you know, when my mindset, when I was writing music, it might have been some times where we was beefing with somebody, and then that influenced
What you were rapping
the song
about. Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
So I want to be as honest as possible. But I don't think I've ever just went and did some street shit just to come back and rap about it. I've never done that.
I got you. So, like, even with, what was it? One in the Chamber?
Yeah.
What inspired that song, though? Wasn't that, that was some street shit right there, though.
That's a great question. So, in Boston, you know, police were killing people, young black men, like crazy in the 80s. And nobody, again, it was swept under the rug.
Yeah.
And this was happening a lot. And they was getting over. I mean, this was a regular thing. You know, the Irish run the police force up there. Dirty. They were dirty.
Yeah.
You know, families of them in the police force. And, you know, this was a regular thing to us, which was unfortunate, because in our mind, we're thinking shit is, you know, we're not thinking like, man, something needs to be done. It just was like, this is just the way it is almost.
Yeah.
So we really didn't think about it. So 2 kids got killed at this time. Nathaniel Lackland got shot twice in the back of his head in Jamaica Plain Project hallway. Cop got over. And Christopher Rogers got shot under a car. 17 years old, killed him. The police shot under the car.
Under the car.
He's hiding under the car, and they shoot him under the car, and they got over.
Got away with it.
So One in the Chamber was about that.
Okay.
You know, like, look, we gonna shoot back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you think you just gonna, nah.
Right.
Y'all wanna keep, all right, well, we gonna shoot at you too. And that's how we felt, because it was just too much.
And these were kids, though, 17-year-olds?
17, and Nathaniel Lackland was 21. Twice in the back of the head. In the back of the head, shot 2 times.
Okay, yeah.
I had it.
Yeah.
And then under the car, this is the type of shit that's going on in the hood in Boston. Again, the story still hasn't really been told. Like, you know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Boston still was getting away with some, you know, a horrendous history of, you know, brutality when it comes to black, you know, for years. People are marching now in these last maybe 10 years. CNN and everybody's getting, you know, and as they should.
Right.
Wasn't nobody marching
doing back then, yeah. So eventually, so with the Almighty RSO, what made you move away from that group, or?
No, it wasn't moving away. It was just always transitioning.
Okay.
It was just different, you know. With the RSO, we had been through so much. We got Eazy-E was gonna sign us, then he died. We got signed to Jay Prince.
Would rap a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moved to Texas, moved to Houston for a little while, like 96, I think, 95. You know, the name just had so much controversy. A bunch of guys got killed and stuff. So I decided just to, you know, let me switch it up.
Just switch it up,
and then change the name to Made Men.
Okay, that's how Made Men. Okay.
That's how Made Men. It was just like the same group. Mr. Jesus, who we added, Tony went to jail. Mr. Jesus, who we added, was already in a group called the Wise Guys I had produced. So, you know, these are just the same guys around the hood.
Yeah.
That I'm just, you know, when I'm putting a group together, I'm just trying to find the right fit.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Nobody had the name Made Men. I thought the name was pretty dope and it fit.
To me, it seemed like you had more success with Made Men, though, right?
Well, you know, because of the controversy with the thing with RSO was like One in the Chamber was getting ready to take off. We getting ready to shoot a video. We signed to Tommy Boy, and we got sued by the police.
So that was sort of like how they try to get at NWA or
same type of
Ice-T.
Yeah, you know, All right, so I'm gonna give you a little exclusive now. Ice-T went on Nori's Drink Champs and had said what happened between us, and maybe Ice is getting older and he don't remember what happened because what Ice said wasn't. When we got sued by the Boston Patrolmen's Association because they said we was calling to shoot police.
Yeah, right.
And they said you can't do that.
Yeah.
We got dropped from our deal. Now Tommy Boy was an independent label, meaning you could put whatever you want. You ain't got to deal with it. They're not scared. Fuck about the police. We're going to put the song out.
Right.
The song's charting. We're doing really well. We get ready to shoot a video for it. They're about to pay a video. We only had a single deal.
Yeah.
So this was a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah, they was all signed to Tommy Boy. All right. So Tommy Boy was like that label that was up and coming, you know, in the 80s,
right.
you know, towards the 90s. So I just remember Ice-T had the song called Cop Killer out.
Yep.
And Warner Brothers at that time, Ice-T, if you're listening, this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what happened. Warner Brothers at that time had taken over Tommy Boy. Ice-T had put out Cop Killer under Warner Brothers and got into a bunch of trouble.
Yeah.
All right. So we kind of caught the backlash. This is what Tom Silverman's saying, the owner of Warner Brothers. I mean, the owner of Tommy Boy. Like, yo, I can't say nothing no more because I'm not independent.
Right.
And so I did an interview and I said, look, and somebody tried to compare it. And I said, Ice-T's song was a rock song. You know what I'm saying? That song he did was with a rock band, and it was, even though he was rapping, but it wasn't
real.
It wasn't, it wasn't in the charts of what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, look, we should have never got caught up in that. That ain't had nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this was our first deal, you know, we was upset. So it really wasn't nothing against Ice-T. I just said the song wasn't hip hop. It wasn't a hip hop song.
Yeah.
All right.
He took offense to that.
And he must have took offense to that. But this is what happened though. So I remember we out in LA. This is one of them shows for like Power or something, or K-Day or some shit. And I remember it was a gang of motherfuckers. It was at the Irvine Amphitheater, like 15,000 people. It was one of our biggest shows that we've ever did. You know what I'm saying? So we going out there. So it's just it was four of us, and we had this Jamaican guy who had did a song with us, did a verse, Wayne Ranks, I think his name was.
Okay.
Wayne Ranks. And it was 1, 2, 3, I think it was altogether 6 of us. So I said, look, Ice-T was there. This is the time of the peace treaty. You know what I'm saying? Like where Bloods and Crips are trying to get together because it was just crazy.
Right.
You know, the riots and all that, but you know, after the riots and all that shit. So, you know, we out there and shit. And all I remember was the stage is one of these stages that go around. So you be on one side and the other act be on another. So it was all kind of big acts because, you know, from radio stations,
right,
all the big acts come in. And I just remember it was like, yo, Ice-T's here. And he was like, with, like no exaggeration, it had to be at least with damn near at least 60 motherfuckers, at least, because he's going on stage bringing Bloods and Crips because of the peace treaty. So they all together with him backstage. Right. This is the first time we seen each other. So after the interview came out, you know, he must have took offense. So I said, his man said, yo, Ice want to talk to you. We backstage. I grabbed niggas, I said, look, put them in a huddle. And this, you know, that's just God's honest truth. I said, look, whatever happens, we fight up here. We don't run. We gonna fight together right here. If we gonna get fucked up, we gonna get fucked up too. I said this. I said nobody better run. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I said we gonna fight right up in the stage, and whatever's gonna fucking happen. And I knew we was outnumbered. I knew we get, but still, like, what the fuck else you gonna do at this point? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I walk over to Ice-T, and he said, look, man, you see what I got over there? He's pointing in the crowd. And he's naming I got the Hoovers, the Grape Street. He's naming the different sets. that are all there together. He's like, yo, man, I ain't got no beef. There's no beef, man. He said, if anything, and this is why when he told his story, he made it seem like I went to him and said, I ain't got no beef.
Right.
I didn't have beef.
You didn't have beef.
Anyways, but I never said that. I didn't get a chance to say nothing.
Yeah.
When I walked over there, his man was big there, but I walked over there and he got right into the speech. And he started pointing out the guys in the office. This is the amphitheater. This is 15,000 people. And I'm looking, and he ain't lying. There's sets all through that motherfucker. And I'm like, damn, this is one of our earliest couple. Only been to LA a few times before that, maybe.
Right.
And I just remember he said, look, man, I ain't got no beef, man. If anything, let's get together and go kill some cops. That's exactly what he said. This is the first time I ever said. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. And I was like, all right, it made me feel, I was like, hell yeah. I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Gave him dap. And then I just remember, and I got goosebumps. Look, when Ice-T came on stage, he had about the same 50 dudes with this big ass flag that they were holding. Everybody holding up their signs, blood and Crip, red and blue, and it was an American flag made out of red and blue flags.
Yeah.
An American flag.
Okay.
Huge.
Yeah. It was dope, huh?
It was dope. It was, and he did colors. It was.
Yeah.
I almost lost my mind, like, cause I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say that to disrespect them.
Right.
I said that and this was the early stages of us doing interviews. I'm a wild nigga from Boston. I'm just like, man, fuck that. That song wasn't even hip hop. Like, right. I didn't say nothing against him.
Right.
But he must have got to it. I just remember, I never forget that. So when I'm hearing Ice tell the story on Drink Champs, I'm gonna send you the clips so you can see. I just was like, oh no, that's not how it happened.
Went down.
Oh no, yeah, because he made it seem like I went over there and was like, yo, I ain't got no. That's not how it went. I didn't even get to say nothing. As soon as I got there, he was like, man, he was making it known it's the treaty. He got all these guys together. We don't need to be beefing. If anything, let's all go kill some cops. And that's how it ended.
Yeah. So
shout out to Ice-T.
Shout out to Ice-T.
The legend.
Yep, definitely a legend. So you was with Made Men, and y'all had success. Y'all even did a couple dope songs with some good features, like with like the Locks. What was that?
Master P.
The
Locks.
Yeah. That joint with the Locks though. What was that? Tommy's
theme. That was on the Belly soundtrack.
I remember that.
And we produced all those. Me.
Oh, you produced it?
Yeah. Hangman 3. Me 2 times, and rest in peace to JB.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I remember.
We had a big crew. If you notice, a lot of guys in rest in peace. Like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's close guys with me that ain't here no more. That's what I'm saying. It's like was with the group, and Orange Man. He's still locked up doing a double life. Like, so. It just was different growing up in Boston, being in gangs, going through all this, being able to survive it. And now it's not, it's not like it ain't. You have 100 at one point. You have 100 niggas, and now it's just now it ain't like that no more.
Yeah.
It's
what would you consider? I guess what would you consider the best era of hip hop? For me, or what you think?
I'm saying for me, because I can't say it for everybody, because I think music should be the purest form of individualism. I just don't believe. I think we're in such a following time and trending time to whereas that out of 8 billion people, if there's one way you're going to be an individual is through your liking for the music that you like. And I would think that for me, the best time was probably around, you want me to give you a 5-year window?
Sure.
Is that a good time for a 5-year window?
That's cool.
It's a rough one, man, because, man, the very early years was just amazing, man. Like, I'm even before running them with the Crash Crew and then the Run DMC, and then after that, KRS with Juice Crew. I mean, it's just, it really is hard, bro. It's just, I really can't pick one because every era meant so much to my life.
Yeah.
In every era, there's either an accomplishment of somebody getting killed or someone dying or awake or my kid being born. Or hip hop, it's my photo book of my life. It's my journey. So it's hard to just say it really is, because I would be kind of like devaluing or diminishing everybody else, and it's been a hell of a ride. Now I can tell you right now, in these last few years, this isn't there's some great music out for sure, but as far as the state of it, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't, these last 5 years haven't been what I thought hip-hop should be.
And that's exactly what I was going to ask you next. I was going to ask you, how do you feel about the current state of hip-hop?
Yeah, it's all over the place, People say what they want about Benzino, but at least when I was at the source, there was a standard of what hip-hop had to be. The people the talent level. Back when I came up in the parks, right, and it'd be the DJs, and it'd be 1,000 people in the park. Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody, I'm saying?
Right.
You wouldn't dare come over there and grab that mic and try to rap when the rappers rap if you didn't know you was nice. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Now. Everybody thinks they could do it now, and it's devalued the art.
Okay, so I agree with you on that. But what do you think is the main cause of it? Is it the record labels just choosing to sign anybody?
It's a lot of factors, because there's no more Source magazine. Because again, we were the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
5 mics was the standard. You had to be talented, or she wasn't even getting in. All that shit had to wait.
You think it was more respect for the art form?
It's the internet. The internet made it to where the internet, with this new generation, made it to where, number one, anything that came before them doesn't matter, and number two, the pool of talent has diminished. Because anybody could do it. You don't have to have talent. You could just be popular.
Yeah.
If you're popular and if you could say A, B, C, D, well, then somebody can write you a rhyme, put you in the studio, throw you in the computer, and then there it is. And that's just not the standard of hip hop that made hip hop great.
Right. And where you come from, where we come from.
Let me give you some math. And if we're gonna gauge anything, right? Let's gauge how you could say hip-hop is devalued right now. Okay. Hip-hop. At one point, BET was worth, Bob Johnson sold it for,
Take $3 billion.
$3 billion, right? He offers $55 million for the Source, me and Dave, by the way. That's a different story.
Bob Johnson offered
me and Dave
$50 million?
$55 million.
Oh, $55 million.
That's a different story.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back with that. But if it's $3 billion, they're having a hard time selling it for $1 billion now. So that means that BET, all these years, the same years of hip hop, has devalued. There's no more awards.
Yeah.
$2 billion, 1/3. MTV's wiped out.
Yeah.
So if you look at how that got devalued. So now you could look at the culture, and a lot of that's because the people that were in position were just college graduates who really didn't have a hand and pulse on the culture. They just looked the part, so that the ones that were writing the checks, hey, because they scared of me, but the guys that come in with the hey, they want a part of this hip hop. When the guy comes in, with that college degree and he's looking, they're not scared of him, and he's saying he could do it because look at the money in the advertisement, and then they just all these guys have gotten checks, all these different guys in this industry, and all these record companies and all these different platforms, everything have gotten major checks for years and years to go by, for it to be devalued. And that just goes to show you that the people that were in position those years, when me and Dave was in position, the Source Awards was thriving. It was coming up. We developed that. We started from the ground bottom with that. That was our work and our money. We did 94, 95, and then 2000, 2001. We did all together like 7, 8 Source Awards, and only profited at the very last one. That was the one we did with BET, and then they broke contract and then did their own awards.
So what about the very first televised Source Awards was what, that 1995? Well,
televised,
right?
it was 94 with
94?
Bertie Mac, but televised is syndication. We recorded, it was a syndication, necessarily wasn't televised. because there wasn't no platforms to be put on TV, so we had to get syndication. It wasn't only until UPN 33 was like our first televised one, which came later, the one we did in LA. But that, again, those was all losses. We was building that for the culture. And when you look at how BET had a 2-year deal with us, that was the last one we did with them was the one we actually profited. It did real well. They cut ties, broke, and then did their own BET Hip Hop Awards the very next year. Stole our whole concept and everything, blueprint and all that.
Because they hadn't even done it.
Kept it going. Each year, it got worse and worse till now it's over. And I watched it. And I watched the people running it, and I knew it. See, they thought that they had what me and Dave had. And though people didn't understand me and Dave's relationship and my role all the time, but it was a combination of, I really was a hip hop street guy, and Dave was a really a college graduate who had loved hip hop, but also was really smart with that business, right? Yeah. And we just and we trusted each other's judgment. In 18 years, ups and downs, we had hip hop on our back, and it was working.
Yeah.
And everything was all right. Right now it's just all over the place and it's chaos. And the younger people are running it. And anytime you have younger people with no guidance running something, it's always gonna crash. And that's what's going on now with hip hop. There's no songs in the top 40. And when you look at it, they don't want another Beyonce. The powers that be, they don't want that. They just don't want it. It was too much influence on their kids. And some, they had, hip hop was making too much of a splash in these white neighborhoods. That's why Eminem was important, because they didn't want all that influence on their kids coming from us. They had to give them somebody of their own. And I was arguing that back then. It's just ironic when I see it now, and I hear people say Benzino ruined the Source, and Benzino this and Benzino that. The Source thrived with Benzino. Yeah. As soon as I left the Source, that shit said.
Because if you guys were the problem, once you guys left, it was pushed out. It should have continued to.
It should have been overly thrived. The funny thing, let me tell you, and the people that pushed us out were all people that me and Dave fuck with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as try to go buy it and everything. And I don't say no names. One day I just might. You know what I'm saying? But then they ended up losing because they all thought that they thought that the Source was bigger than me and Dave. Yeah. Me and Dave was the Source. And that's what they didn't realize. When Bob wanted to buy it, at this time, we had owed the bank $30 million because Dave, the one mistake that was made with the Source was that Dave took out a loan for $12 million to start the Source.com like in '97. Okay. It was too early, it crashed, lost a lot of money. We owed the bank $30 million. We had to sell our percentage. Once we sold the percentage, we got pushed out. The bottom line was, though, he had the vision of Source.com. He was just 5-6 years too early. Too early. A lot of .coms crashed. People don't realize that. Yeah. But that's what happened. And, at the end of the day, it was the internet that knocked the magazines out anyways.
Boom. That's true.
Okay, so, I didn't know about computers and none of that. Yeah. So when Dave was making those decisions,
he was trying to set it up.
And I trusted him. And hey, look, things happen. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. That's all right. Life happens. But you can't take away what me and Dave did. And when people, we just had to sit back and let God handle it. But when Bob wanted to buy it, he flew us up there and he said, look, I don't even want to talk that long. Me and Dave went in his office. He said, he goes to DC. He was just getting ready to move everything out. He says, I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna leave my offer on a piece of paper. When I come back in, it's yes or no. He didn't even want to talk.
He didn't even want to, no negotiation.
He left the note. He ripped the piece of paper off, wrote it down, and that shit said 555-0000000. It just said 55 million. So me and Dave sitting there doing math in the middle of his office. It was freezing cold too. It was in the wintertime. I'll never forget it, snowing. And I had true story. I had a Run DMC. One of them when they came out with the first time they came out with their gear, I had the black and gold one. I think I had some leather pants on with the black and gold. Yeah, some Run DMC shit when I went to see Bob John.
I feel you.
And we said, well, we owe the bank 30. Taxes are gonna take half. And the biggest thing was he didn't want us to be a part of it. He was like, y'all gotta go.
You gotta go.
We was like, man, let us stay for 5 years and run it. Because we know what we're doing and we're right there. And then you know, we valued it at 75 million. We figured if we can get it to 75, we can go public. So man, we turned it down.
Y'all turned 55. I see what you're saying. So, but at the time when Bob offered you 55 million, that's the
time where we had to, you know, we owed the bank.
Yeah.
And we was gonna have to sell our percentage. It was either that or sell the percentage. So we ended up selling a percentage, and that's where, see, Dave, you know, I wasn't into the corporate.
Yeah, he did corporate dude.
So they had 2 people on the board and just ousted me. And they had 3 people. Dave, I guess, didn't know that when he was signing with these people. But their whole thing was, again, get them out of here. They paid the bank and they lost big time. Like they took like a $20 million loss. But that was their fault because they tried to finesse us. It was this guy named Earl Graves that owned Black Enterprise magazine, his sons.
Okay.
These Ivy League black guys.
Yeah.
Sandals with no socks type guys in New York City, you know what I mean? I never liked them. Dave was dealing with them the whole time. He was like, these are gonna be your new partners. I just didn't accept it because I felt it. Something was wrong.
You didn't feel right about it.
I felt it, and sure enough, they backdoored Dave, took the magazine. A year later, they sold it for like couple of million. It just was all fucked up.
So they ain't
and then Londell McMillan, the guy who got it now. So, you know, at the end of the day, the Source story is a major story. Only me and Dave can tell the story. I mean, there's a lot of shit, you know.
To me, based off of what you're saying, and because see, I remember the Source, you know, because just like what we talked about earlier, you know how you used to have to, you had to listen to the college radio station to get, you know, hip hop, you know, to understand. That's how a lot of people
get the Source.
Yeah, it was through the Source. You know, you have people in different parts of the country.
The internet, before the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, that right there, that's a movie.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Look, me and Dave haven't spoke almost 8 years. But you know, prior to that, we was together 25 years straight. You know, I got indicted by the feds. You know, we went through a lot with the Source.
Damn,
all kind of shit. The Eminem beef, the Paul Pierce situation, the Locke situation. It was all kinds of shit, controversies. But the thing was that, you know, when Black Enterprise tried to take it from us, it was the same thing. Yeah, Dave and Ray. They found out the hard way and lost a gang of money. Then when Londell came and get the same thing. Now, Londell owns the name now. It would only make sense to try to get with me and Dave, let's get to the table and go make the movie, the series and do, but no, his ego and the way he feels. And when you look at the Source now, it's on digital. They're not making no real money over there. They're not doing nothing. It's just ego with these guys. And he's a lawyer. And I try to talk to him a couple of times, but I get angry because I ain't got no time for we grown ass fucking men. Let's get this money. If you don't like me, that's okay.
Right, yeah.
Let's get this money. Because I don't like you either. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but I could still sit at a table with you and I could still be cordial with you and respectable and we can get this money. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like where it's at right now. It's like Dave will have to tell his story. My story is just because at the end of the day, look, and I ain't taking nothing away from Dave because Dave's a genius. And without Dave, hip-hop advertising wouldn't even be where it's at. I give Dave all the flowers due. But Lord knows, I was the mover and shaker up there. And mover, shaker, decision maker. And, you know, I had this knack for just calling it, and it always worked, and then Dave would implement it. The Source Awards really flourished because of me. Source All Access TV with Lisa Ray and Tretch was my idea. The Source Hip Hop Hits that sold million, like all this stuff was all, you know what I mean? Sure, we had amazing journalists and amazing art directors and amazing photographers. Some amazing college kids up there. Hip hop came from the streets.
Yeah.
And that's just that.
So even
and I'm a street nigga, and I brought that element. If I wasn't up there, then it would have just been XXL. It just a fucking magazine. Like I was the heart of that magazine.
I got you on that. But even after the Source, everything was done with the Source, you and Dave still continued on and got
Hip Hop Weekly.
You did Hip Hop Weekly.
Yeah, right? But that was just at that time again. Look, we lost everything. I got indicted. I thought I was going to jail for on a RICO. The initial charges was like 2 bodies in Boston and extortion, money laundering. They thought I was running a big ring because we're making all these millions of dollars at the Source. They didn't realize it. They've never seen nothing like that. They're looking at me in my taxes and like, how the fuck is he making all this money? He was just in Boston running from the gang task force. So what the fuck is going on? He got to be running drugs through here.
So that's what the RICO was about.
That's what it was about. They thought I was running. They just didn't know. People, when it comes to the feds, people think the feds don't. If the feds ain't in the hood, they don't know.
So I mean, but who?
And there wasn't no internet back then, so they didn't know. That's how Irv Gotti and them won their case, because they just really at that point didn't know how many millions and millions and millions of dollars that these street niggas was making legally. They just couldn't fathom it. They didn't have the intel on that yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They was slow when it came to that. They interviewed over 150 people on me. Okay? The criminal investigation went on for 1.5 years at the Source. This is when we're in our peak making money. We making a couple million a month in advertisement.
So that RICO was going on before you all was pushed out of this.
Yeah.
From the Source.
It was just before it.
Just before it.
And
so do you think that was
a few years before. A couple of years before.
So do you think that was like maybe somebody put them on to you?
No, I mean, look I was getting investigated in Boston for years.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, however it got. The bottom line was the accountant wore a wire, the guy that Dave hired, the white guy, and he wore a wire for 8 months. Once the criminal broke down, they couldn't connect the dots on all these trumped up charges on me. Then they tried to hit me with tax evasion. I took that to trial and I beat it. And the guy wore a wire for a bunch of months, came and testified against me. We're paying this guy $175,000 a year to be an accountant.
For the Source.
For the Source. His office is right next to Dave's.
So he was wearing a wire the whole time.
He wore a fucking wire for like 6 months on me to try to get me locked up. When my lawyer asked him why, he says he couldn't even answer it. But that's why they found me not guilty. Because they're like, his thing was taxes. Motherfucker, that's why you here. I don't know nothing about taxes. He'd see me in the office and be like, Ray, we got to do your taxes. I say, okay, go talk to Dave.
Yeah.
I don't handle that. I never even had an office at the Source. 18 years, me at the Source, I never even had an office. I'm not an office nigga.
Okay.
I come up there, get on Dave had a long couch in his office, and I get on the couch, smoke, we powwow. I be on a plane somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's what it was. I was in the field.
Yeah.
I was, you know what I'm saying? People don't realize that hip hop is really, especially with these labels across country, these are street niggas. Dave wasn't going to be able to like really kick it like that.
Yeah.
In some instances he can. When it's business, they want to buy ads. But to get deep and down, and that's where I was. And there was a mutual respect for everybody because nobody tried to push up. We was making millions and millions of dollars and nobody tried us.
Yeah.
You know, I had a big crew, you know, and it was just a mutual respect with everybody. And I mean, Master P was spending dollars. Baby and him was spending money. Suge was spending money. Diddy was spending money. Everybody was spending, Leo Cohen, Russell, everybody was getting all the money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so everything went in a blur, you know what I'm saying? I made millions of dollars, man. I was getting record deals and, you know, all I did was sell drugs, coke, heroin, weed, so.
But I got that. But like back to Hip Hop Weekly, you guys came together to do that. Was that a situation where you was wanting to continue to contribute to the culture, or you were just trying to get some bread? I just
came up with an idea to get some bread because I'm gonna keep it after that. That was it. I mean, like Dave was still in shock, really.
Okay,
Dave was because
that was his baby.
What the fuck? That was 18 years.
Yeah,
195 covers, 7 Source Awards, like. And the way it went down was just fucked up. But you know what? we hold our head high. And I came up with the idea for Hip Hop Weekly.
Yeah.
I felt like, hip hop was changing. The long reading was changing. Get some short reading and make it a little more gossip friendly for the women. Because, Source was more of a man's magazine. Mm-hmm. I seen where the National Enquirer and all that other shit was selling. So I said, you know what? We'll make it look like that, but make it hip hop.
Right, okay.
But we couldn't put it out per week. Trying to put a magazine out a week is like, we had a staff of maybe like 10. And it was the first time we was doing it all off the computer. Like our system was amazing. So we put it out every 2 weeks. And I'm telling you, there was about 8 of us, 8 to 10 people. Every 2 weeks we would make those. You'd have to make 6 in the morning. You'd have to make the trucks. If not, they wouldn't make the printing press. Trying to put out a magazine every 2 weeks was hell.
Was
you
crazy,
don't even understand.
yeah.
And we did it.
Yeah.
We would have to stay up almost 3 days sometimes to try to get it out. People
out.
don't realize the work that went into that.
And y'all was rocking with that for like how many years? With the
hip hop? About 6, 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
I'm saying two covers a week, and we did. We made a few dollars. It was paying the bills, but after a while, you know what I'm saying. Dave found himself a girl, man, got married, and felt like, look, man, you know what I'm saying. I mean, we've been through a lot together. I mean, a lot. You have no idea.
That's what I mean. I know y'all been through a lot. That's why I'm shocked that you say you haven't spoken to him and like.
Look, you know what happens though. You know what I'm saying. Look, when you're with somebody, it's almost like when you're with a woman. We was together 25 years. Mm-hmm. It was what's the word? Tumultuous. Tumultuous. Like it was a lot of highs and a lot of lows. And you got to understand, Dave wasn't from that street.
Yeah.
But Dave put up a lot with a lot. Dave done been around some shit. Mm-hmm. So, and I wasn't the business dude, but I learned a lot. So, we was good for one another, and it just felt like it was time for him, because Dave would work. Dave sometimes didn't get no sleep. Dave was a workaholic. And, at the end of the day, man, he needed that. So, he fell in love and just, so we kind of split, but hey, man, shit, you can't erase the history we have together.
Yeah, no doubt. So, how did you get involved with like the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta situation, reality TV?
I was living in Miami for a while, and Stevie had came down, stayed with me for a little bit, then he went back to Atlanta and was like, yo, come to Atlanta, we'll record, come up here for a few weeks. I went up there for 2 weeks, ended up staying there. I've been there 10 years now, I ain't left.
So you was in
I was in Miami. Packed up my car. I said I'm gonna go for 2 weeks. Rented a little crib up there. Mm-hmm. Me and Stevie, and then he casted for Love and Hip Hop. I didn't know what that shit was. Shit, I'm bringing him to the set. Stevie's a wild boy, so I really wasn't. I didn't know what it was.
So Stevie J basically got you.
Like, yeah. I was driving him to the set, and then one thing led to another, and next thing you know, I'm in the car with him. I did the scene where I told him, man, you should be monogamous, The thing with that was all that was happening in real life. Mm-hmm. Like, the cameras is just a small part of the day. Like, he was really trying to juggle me and Jocelyn while, he was at the crib with me. So, I really was giving him advice on trying to do it. Because Stevie's like from Buffalo, They got like a pimpish mentality up there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Rick James type shit.
You say Rick James?
That's Rick James Jr., you know what I'm saying? It's a wild boy.
I know. All right, before I got some more questions in regards to that. But so you and Stevie, your connection come from just producing?
Nah, hell no. We just, it started but we just two wild boys. Okay. Man. He was the wild boy, bad boy. I was the wild boy, the Source. We wasn't the status quo niggas, the status quo industry niggas. And we just took to each other. We just liked each other's styles and just took to each other, man. It was just a real. The chemistry clicked with us on a level of. We had a mutual respect of who he was. He knew who I was with the Source. I knew who he was with Bad Boy. But when we hung out with each other, it just like we knew each other our whole life because we just was two wild niggas at that time.
Gotcha.
So we really clicked, and when we did Love and Hip Hop, we really was the first two guys to start on reality TV to start really doing bro scenes.
Yeah.
Nobody else had did that before us,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On any show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay. Yeah. So, but even with Love and Hip Hop, that was that was your first time on television?
I mean, yeah, reality, hell yeah.
Like
yeah, I wasn't doing no shit like that. I was private with my relationship. I surely wasn't. Let me tell you something. Like, I used to be secret squirrel. Like, I was private.
Yeah.
And I've dated women. You know what I'm saying? That you might, you know what I'm saying? That I'm sure you know. You know what I mean? But you would never know.
Yeah.
So when that shit came up, it was like, damn. I was like, wow. So I had my own little strategy with that, though. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna get caught up like everybody else with a bunch of girls. Cause I don't. In real life, I wasn't like that. I never could deal with two chicks fighting and going. You know what I'm saying? I always was sneaky with it. She ain't gonna know about her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, all I know is like I watched some of the episodes and some of the seasons, but I know that third reunion season. Yeah. I mean, that's the
third season. Yeah.
Yeah, the third season, the reunion.
That was the craziest season. I mean, when you think about it, like those first seasons were like the seasons that really changed reality TV, black reality TV. Like Love and Hip Hop was so successful. Like we was doing like 5 million every Monday.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know if it's cracking a mill now. You know what
Probably
I'm saying?
Not, yeah.
So it's like the effect it had on people and the influence, and it was like wow. And it was like me being a part of it was a resurgence for my career. And I thank Mona and Stephanie and Stephen for giving me the opportunity. But doing that shit wasn't no easy task. You know, because of who I am, you know what I'm saying? Like reality, you know, I'm gonna give you who I am. I can't be who I'm not. But I can be smart about it. And, you know, everything that took place when you seen that all happened in real time.
Yeah.
At the reunion when shit got crazy, that happened. You know, me and Stevie hadn't spoke for almost a year and a half after that. And that was the first time. It was unfortunate that we went through some shit like that. And we went through it over two girls who we ended up not being. We ended up having babies by.
Yeah.
And now not with.
Yeah.
So that's real life shit.
Yeah, that show, man. Y'all had to, put the security. They was working overtime to prevent y'all from...
That shit was crazy, man. It was embarrassing. I'm telling you, worst moment on TV. One of the worst moments on TV. I've had a couple moments, you know, because I just, you know, with me, right, it's like, with me, everybody on Love and Hip Hop, the guys, put their ego first and their pride. So they don't want to look like they're going out for a woman. Take them cameras off, the shit be different.
Yeah.
I try to be the same if the cameras were off. So you know what? If I'm in love with her, I'm gonna show the people I'm in love with her.
Yeah.
That ain't taking nothing from my manhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm still who I am, but I'm gonna show that. And I think when I did that, I think I kind of influenced a whole generation of people, because a lot of guys are afraid to be vulnerable. And I didn't know that. I didn't even know what being vulnerable means. I just was like, in my mind, I just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna like, I don't know what made me do it. You know what I'm saying? But I just said, you know what? Because even before that, I wasn't into like love and getting married and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just was a street nigga, and the girls I was with, you know, I mean, I thought I was in love, but I was so busy in the streets in my career, like I probably didn't even know what love was. So when I was on TV, it was like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to do this. And people are watching, so I don't wanna give them the crazy shit, because Stevie's going through that shit, but Scrappy's going through this shit, Kurt's going through crap. I'm not going through that.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna stick with one chick at a time, and I'm gonna see if I could really profess I was challenging myself. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, before that, I was a cheater. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't right. But then, you know what I'm saying, I had to have some discipline. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be made to look like a fool. I'm going to not cheat. And that's what I did. And, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what separated my character from everybody
else's. Yeah. So right now, you and Stevie, y'all in a good place? Y'all cool?
Yeah, you know, I ain't spoke to him in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But yeah, hell yeah, like we got real cool like after that. You know, I mean, we wasn't never not gonna be cool. That's my bro. Shit happens. Sometimes you just need a break, man.
Yeah.
It's all right. You don't gotta be around people all the time. Sometimes give them a break. You miss them, love them from a distance, and if God wants y'all to come back, then so be it. If not, then, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a big. God made space for that reason, or else we'd all be crowded on each other.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like a couple of weeks ago, Cash Money and No Limit, you know, on Verzuz, they did their thing. Social media went crazy afterwards, and they went back to, you know, talking about what Jay-Z had said. Jay-Z said that nobody could stand toe to toe with him on the Verzuz.
He's supposed to say that.
Yeah, and so on the.
But the thing is, if you're gonna say it, then if somebody says, "Yeah, I can," then do it.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem is these niggas think that they bigger than the program. If Jay's supposed to feel like that, but if that's the case, you know the culture wants to see that.
No doubt.
I'm sure Nas don't feel that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then shit.
So yeah.
Then do it.
But I mean, Jay-Z said that a while back, but maybe a couple of years ago or something. But you know how social media is; they like to debate.
I don't know. Him and Dr. Dre would be a crazy. Like I don't know if he could take Dre. Jay would be his dope, but I don't know if. Again, that would be him and Dr. Dre would be, you know what I'm saying. Him and Dr. Dre would be a good, but I don't know. I mean, to me, I think Dre got so many hits, man. That I don't know, but I don't know if they would count him as a producer,
right? Because he's being a producer though.
But he's also he rapped in everything.
He has rapped, yeah,
in all of them.
Yeah.
Not like he just. Dre got some dope verses. The one with him and Ice Cube, Natural Born Killer, he killed that.
Yeah.
The Chronic,
yeah,
although he don't, we know he don't.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know if that's a cry. Yeah. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows Dre don't write his
right.
verses.
Everybody knows he don't rap.
You know, when you listen to Dre, when he's working with somebody, you can hit like when you heard Ice Cube when he was with Cube. When Cube left, you heard Ren.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When after that, you heard Snoop. You heard the DOC. You heard Eminem. Like every time Dre raps, you can hear the writer that he's rapping. You know what I'm saying?
I get that too. But just simply because Jay-Z is such a lyricist, I can't see him going at it with Dr. Dre because we know Dr. Dre, like you said, somebody's ghostwriting.
It's song for song though. Nowadays, verses is turned to just song for song.
That's what they didn't got. That's the way
That's what's going now.
Yeah.
It's song for song. So if Dre want to go up there, he can go song for song. He's rapping in all them songs. So now lyrically, you saying okay, but a song is a song. When they play that song, they basing it off the song. The entire body of work.
Yeah.
So that's why I see that's what it was with Cash Money and
right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay. Yeah. So, but like I said, social media, they out there talking, and everybody, like from what I was seeing, they was like, you know, saying it was Eminem.
Eminem.
They was
absolutely not. Absolutely not. For white people, yes. You see, that's where look. I'm saying that's where the divide is. You got to understand, Eminem and them divided hip hop to where his audience is white. Simple as that. I mean, 90% of his audience are white. Okay, that like that music. His new music, hey, it is what it is. This doesn't have nothing to do with race, being funny, me and his thing. 90% of his fans are white. So anybody he goes up against is going to be a thing where he's going to play it and the white fans will like it and the black fans will be like this. And then, so it's not going to be good for him because he separated himself. He's separated. And this is the problem that I think that he's going to run into. They shouldn't have did that. They should have kept him hip hop like the Beastie Boys to where is that. But they made it to where he's a white rapper and they separated it. He has his own stance. So now you really can't do verses with nobody because you've separated your songs from the culture. You'll have about a few of them that the black people, on the most part, Lose Yourself and 8 Mile and Monster with Rihanna. But how many is that? There's not a lot. To where is that the other ones would have to be the real hip hop backpackers and then the real white fans. But the everybody in that verses that was watching Cash Money and No Limit?
Yeah.
They're not going to be cheering for Eminem.
Yeah.
That's a big, well, that's hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where it's going to bite them in it. That's where I know they did it for money, because there's a huge population of white folks who just don't mess with black people, and they're buying Eminem. All right?
Eminem.
All right.
Yeah, right.
So, but this is where it's going to backfire. He's not going to be able to do a versus with nobody.
You don't think he'll ever be able to do a versus?
How?
Based off
his
of,
audience is split.
But
he can't. How's he going to do it? Yeah, because he's going to play a lot of songs that black people ain't even going to know.
Yeah. You know what? when people talk about that, like what you're saying, because who else said that? Was it Lord Jamar's?
Lord Jamar is like, look, one thing. Let me tell you about Lord Jamar. Where was Lord Jamar when I was saying this back then? When I was saying it, where was Lord Jamar back then? Was he on a different planet? No, I'm dead ass. I'm saying he's just been saying this the last 5 years. Where was he saying it back then?
You've been saying it. Exactly.
Where was he saying it when I brought it up?
Right.
Where was the support then?
Right.
Don't wait 100 years later after I done said now you want it. I don't. Nah. Yeah. Sorry.
But a lot of people try to play you like you just being a hater. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but that's what
I'm just saying. What's the difference of what I'm saying and what Lord Jamar said?
Yeah, I know.
What's the difference?
But I get what you're saying.
No, but what I need to know, is there a difference?
There's no difference.
Then how can I be a hater?
You know what I'm saying?
But anybody that's going to go up against a white man that's black is going to be considered a hater. We know that. But
I think they say that because of your history. You had.
What's my history? I don't have a hating history.
Not a hating history, no, but a long-standing beef with Eminem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying but the long-standing beef wasn't about hating on the music. The long-standing beef was about separating the culture and catering to white racist fans who don't give a fuck about the culture. That was my issue back then. You can go back to 20 years tapes and I was saying the same shit.
Gotcha.
So again, it just take a little bit of logic and common sense to see what I was talking about. I wasn't trying to battle this kid.
Yeah.
Rap battle with lyricists. I don't rap like that anyways. Lyrical masturbator, what the hell? I don't even if you was black, right? There's black cannabis. Salute to cannabis. I never listened to cannabis. So I like who I like. Yeah. I listen to who I listen to. I don't gotta fucking like him if I don't want to like him.
Right.
And that's the problem. You're hating if you don't like something that everybody thinks that they like.
Yeah.
No, I'm being an individual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And liking what I like. Now, because at the end of the day, Eminem was in the Source magazine. We discovered him. He was in the Unsigned Hype. He wasn't in nothing before that. So it's not if it was hating, he would have never even got that far. It wasn't hate. It was only until I started seeing the machine trying to use him. Oh, he can get special MTV play. Oh, he can go to Radio City Music Hall and walk in there with 100 white kids. Oh, he can do this. Oh, he can do that. And we scrapping and scrounging and trying to build this shit. And you got him over here on a pedestal. No. Somebody got to say something. Yeah. And the only reason I was able to say something because I was the boss at the Source. Everybody else, including Jay, Russell, and everybody, they all had to answer to somebody. I was the only one in New York that didn't have to answer to nobody. Right. Everybody else had to answer to somebody, including Russell Simmons. See, I didn't have to answer to nobody. So I could say what needed to be said.
And that's what it was all about. From the beginning.
Same shit Lord Jamar is saying, the same shit everybody else is saying. Look, he made racist tapes when he was, and people swept that under the rug. And we exposed that, and they swept that under the rug. So listen, my job is done. Because at the end of the day, if I wasn't who I must have did something because my name still ring Eminem Benzino. So you know what I'm saying? It when you look at it, I'll never be separated from him because I hit him the best and the most. You know what I'm saying? I definitely affected his fan base to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all I want to do in the first place because he's not stopping my motion.
Right.
He doesn't come across my life. I will never go in a club that plays him or nothing I do or be around. It's a separate lifestyle. His fans live a separate lifestyle from me.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a club where they played Eminem?
Absolutely not. Like
Never.
I mean,
have you ever been like
maybe maybe the Hard Rock Cafe. Mm-hmm. I might have walked through the hall and I heard it, like the casino or something. Mm-hmm. But you got to be in some type of somewhere where some pop music's gonna play, where some type of pop culture music will play. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But in the places that I go out, the club I'm going to tonight, they'll never play Eminem. Mm. The clubs that I go to on a regular basis all my life will never, ever play Eminem. Ever. And not because he's not a good rapper.
Right.
The music, the songs he raps over aren't those type of songs to play in the club. And nobody's listening to that shit in the club. It just ain't happening. And then when the South took over, the bounce switched. So now he was really in trouble. Mm-hmm. He couldn't get on this bounce down here. Mm.
I got you.
Call spade a spade now. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, so you just last year you made a diss track. A
response from the
and that was a response. That he did. That was a response.
Though.
Yeah. And that was the what was it? Rap
Elvis.
Elvis. Yeah.
Ran right up in Mom's spaghetti. Was throwing meatballs all over the place. Yeah. Absolutely.
So to me, he came at you like that same year, right?
Yeah, like a few months before that. Yeah. Out of nowhere, Ann said something about my daughter. You know, what the fuck was that for?
Yeah.
20 years later, you still. That's why I know I'm still. Even in Kill Shot, he mentions "fuck you." He screamed at the end of Kill Shot my name. So I know, like I affected him. Mm-hmm. There's no question.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't nothing, you still wouldn't be affected.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't making any more songs about him. I wasn't even making music like that. But that rap Elvis came back and shocked the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it really did. It even shocked me. I ain't gonna lie. For real, I was like, damn, boy, this shit kind of hard. And it's like, it's like I made two of them.
You made two of them?
Yeah, I made two dishes. Voltorious and Rap Vultures, but it was Voltorious and Rap Elvis.
Yeah. All right, so you spoke of your daughter. Your daughter, Coi Leray, she's been doing her thing in the industry.
She's a superstar.
You're definitely a proud pop.
Kidding me? How can I not be proud? It's like that's crazy. And she has her daughter so beautiful. My granddaughter so crazy.
Yeah. And did you always know that she wanted to be in the industry? Did you?
I mean, at one point she wanted to sing. I didn't know she wanted to rap, and surely not street rap.
Yeah.
Cause I just, I'm an old school dad.
Right.
I come from old school. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're gonna go to college.
Right.
No boys. You're gonna do your work. And that's that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I guess I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get no handbook. You don't get handbooks. Mm-hmm. And I got 3 boys now, and you know what I'm saying? Boys, and then her 2 brothers I helped raise. So boys are easy.
Yeah.
Girls.
Yeah.
That's why, God blessed me with one.
With just one. I hear that.
Because, man, girls, man. Some of my guys be having 3 and 4 daughters. I be like, man, God bless you, man. I be giving them hugs. I give them hugs, man. For real.
Yep.
It's not easy. It's not easy with daughters, their emotions and, you being a street guy. And, I'm sure they have a vision from somewhere on what they think family's supposed to be. And sometimes, man, it just doesn't match the vision. And then, it's like when they're young, you're the heroes. But once they start hitting that 15, 13, 14, 15, things change, man. And, and it's like, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Because of the things that we've been through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's man, I'm trying to pick the right word for it. It's interesting, man. Like it really is. I didn't know it was gonna be like this. But again, when you grow up in the hood, I never thought about the future, or I never thought about how things would be.
Right.
I'm just a guy that pretty much I'm good on the fly. You know what I'm saying? And I just take what I know and what I think I know and apply it. When it comes from trying to be a dad and all you do is sell drugs and street and mess with women and all that stuff, man, you're not the ideal. You don't have the ideal set of maybe examples to be a great father for your daughter.
Yeah.
But you do the best you can.
Yep.
You know, you do the best you can, and man, you know, and you just hope for the best. What I can say is that I'm proud that, you know, she never had she didn't get pregnant at a super early age, and she never had a dance at a club, and none.
Yeah.
Much love to all the dance at a club.
Right.
You know, no disrespect, you know, at all. But I'm just, you know, and no felonies. You know, you know what I mean. I didn't do so bad. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I didn't do so bad, man. You know, but you know, this new internet communication with the kids is, I'm sure, is challenging. There's a lot of parents out there that's challenging. You know, trying to communicate with this type of generation, with the social media and everything. And it's just, you know, it's something that we're just learning on the fly. And you have your faith in God, and sometimes you got to give it to God, because they're at an age where, when I came up, there was always a separation with the generations. I always kind of looked up and always was quiet and looked up.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying, at the generation, and kind of was in awe of them and learned from them. What happened now was, since the social media came, they kind of skipped over us and went straight to social media.
Yeah.
They just don't need us no more. Or in their mind, they don't.
Yeah, right.
And that's, I think, what happens to all of us, not just me. I think because of our fame, that I'm the poster boy for the dysfunctionality of the situation, and I take some of the responsibility for that, if not, you know, most of it. But I'm just me, man.
I feel you.
I could just be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a father, but I'm also still a human being.
No doubt. Yeah. Now I see you really into fitness.
Yeah, I like to work out.
I see that. And so, is that something that you've always, you always worked out? Or
I got shot. I got shot, man. I lost all motion in my arm like 10 years ago, going to my mother's funeral. You know.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
And man, I couldn't. You know, I had to go to physical therapy. I couldn't even lift a pound. And I was like, man, I'm not going out like that.
Yeah.
And man, I just, you know, after that, I just started lifting weights, man. And it's, you know, it's mentally got me through some dark times, more than the physical side.
Yeah.
Like, it really isn't about the physical. It's about it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't
but it helps
say
you feel good.
But mentally, not even just feel good. It gave me discipline, and it gave me sense of purpose, where I felt like everybody else shut me out. I felt like, this is what I have. This is me and God now.
Yeah.
This is me and God. When I go to the gym, I go with God, and you know what I'm saying, and everything else that matters doesn't, and anything that don't matters won't. And that's my time right there, and it's worked for me.
I got you.
And it's got me out of some dark times, man.
Yeah. So you've been through a lot over the years, but you're still standing. Some would say that you're sort of a controversial figure. What do you think is the biggest misconception people have about you?
Well, I'm not racist. Absolutely not. Now, I grew up in a racist city, but I've dealt with a lot of great white people to know that not all white people are bad white people. So I'm not racist. And I surely ain't a deadbeat dad.
Got you. I feel you.
Those are far misconceptions. I love my kids.
Yeah.
I've done everything for them. Like I said, it might not have been. It might have been a little. You know, have been. Trying to find the word. Not the most orthodox way.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying. But you know, I felt that the moves that I made were the right moves at the time. Always thinking about my kids, and you know what I'm saying, no matter what I go through, to make sure that they're eating, to make sure that they have a lot. And a lot of times when you're out there in the streets and you're out trying to get it, you ain't gonna have the time to spend with them.
Yeah.
And that's what the mother's there for. That's the dynamic of when you have kids by someone in the hood, and both of you, a lot of us really ain't even ready, stable enough and ready. It just happens, man. And I wish they would understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The type of sacrifice and everything we went through. But you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, I mean, when the kids are born, we still in the projects and in the streets, and we still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how the hell are we gonna take care of a kid? Yeah. So, but you do it. You love your kids no different from a millionaire with their kid.
Right.
And you do what you do, and you happy, and every Christmases, and you feel the joy from them, because there's there's no purer love than you can get from anything other than your mother and a child.
You're right.
It's just, because I got a 9-year-old, man. He keeps me, my God, man, where would I be without him these last 10 years? So, I'm his hero, and I need that, you know what I'm saying? I need that.
Well, that's some real shit though, bro. And I just want to let you know that, I know you got some engagements you got to.
Yeah, we hitting the club tonight, man. Y'all coming? Y'all coming? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? Y'all coming with us or what? You know
I don't know, man. It's kind of late.
We going to the club tonight, man, and I just really appreciate, like I said, man. Yeah. I really appreciate it, man, for real.
And that's what I'm saying. I appreciate you stopping through, for real.
That is dope, man. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, we're gonna get it out there, and like I said,
appreciate you, Lo.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, brother.
Cool.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my.